What's going on, gamers? This video is going to be about the new 007 that just dropped, and turns out it is bomb, right? It's also, what's interesting is being compared to PlayStation's iconic series Uncharted, which when I looked at it, I thought I'd seen a lot of that as well too. Then we got a comment thread with people getting, I guess, a little bit salty about that. But the game turned out to have an 88 Metacritic. It had an 89 originally, but it said 88, which is still very good. As we know, Uncharted games score in a 90 plus. But this is, to some people, the Uncharted placeholder until they get another one, if they wanted another one, right? But I think it's its own game in a way, too, with a mix of Hitman. As we know, those are developers that have been doing the Hitman games. I knew this game was going to score well because these developers usually make really good games in that type of stratosphere. And it's good to see that. As we see 007 First Light reviews, we're going to get to the Uncharted comparisons here in a second. PS5 reviews have come out this morning pouring with praise for it. 007 First Light looks to be a mesh between, as we see right here, Hitman and Uncharted. Vice calls it the best James Bond game since GoldenEye. Others are impressed with how well it captures James Bond. Yeah, I mean, I always love the James Bond movies with Pierce Brosnan, of course. Some with Sean Connery as well. Before Daniel Craig came on the scene. Not that he didn't do a good job, but I don't know. He's not no Pierce Brosnan to me. And I've loved the 007 games. We know about the classic 64 game. But yeah, we see a lot of 10s and 9s coming out here, and it ended up being an 88. Best James Bond game. A lot of people are saying that it's pretty much that. I've never seen anybody say anything bad. It's actually played this game that is, you know, beat it or just only played it for a little bit. They all say they're enjoying it big time. Ripple says there's a massive hunger for Naughty Dog style cinematic narrative games. And here we go with the Uncharted comparisons. But since Sony got distracted by live service projects, Naughty Dog hasn't launched a new game in 6 years. Now IO Interactive is stepping up with 007 to fill that void. This is going to be huge. 007 versus Uncharted. So then we're kind of getting like this cinematic, or like saying, hey, look at how similar these set pieces are compared to each other. And you know what? In a way, they are right. If you take a look at 007 First Light and you take a look at Uncharted 4, there's definitely some inspiration in here. It's not copy, no, it's actually implemented very well in its own world. And then people will say, well, James Bond had that back then, you know what I mean? It's like, to an extent, yes, but we're talking about the way the coding is working and just the way that the video game is developed. Like you could say Tomb Raider had what it had, but that Tomb Raider trilogy that came out, which is actually really well and done really well by Crystal Dynamics, was Uncharted-like. So it came before it. Just to go ahead and clarify that. You know what I mean? So here's the first comparison right here. Going down, Video Game Chronicles compares 007 First Light to Uncharted. The sequences in this game, as we see this right here, remind you of the iconic train sequence in Uncharted 2, which we know that was absolutely epic, or the chase sequence in Uncharted 4. 007 raises the stakes with the level itself. The combat looks really good too, by the way. Each sequence being even more spectacular. So tell you guys right now, if you have that Uncharted hunger and you're looking for it, this game actually has it. Also, the PS5 Pro version is running this game at pretty much almost the highest settings at 60 frames per second and upscaled to 4K with PSSR2 from 1440p. I mean, it's pretty much the superior version. The only thing that I could say that I have to criticize that probably people are mad about is the AMD base getting screwed over outside of the PS5 Pro stratosphere. What do I mean by that? Well, there's no FSR4 for this on PC right now. It seems like NVIDIA has some type of deal with them. So they're getting all the stuff. You don't get frame gen for it either. But guess what? That also tells you how optimized this game actually is. Whereas with the DLSS getting a 10% advantage, it's like, okay, this game is optimized very well. They did a really good job with it. I have to say it deserves the sales. If it gets millions of sales, I hope it does, because these type of developers you want to support. Somebody that's saying, oh, you don't need FSR4. Watch this. It's still going to be optimized and run really well. Is that a bad thing? No, that's actually good. You should actually like that. But of course, you still want your FSR4 for lower end rigs, depending on the requirements. So that's something I wanted to add in. If you guys didn't know that, do not expect to get FSR4 for this if you have an AMD rig. Going down, here we go again with the game verse, right? Uncharted 4 2016. Here's another scene versus 007 First Light. As we see, they have a similar aspect going on, and you can kind of get a GTA vibe from this too if you play GTA 5 a lot. You know what I mean? But the thing here is though, we're talking about set piece comparisons here that actually are very identical. We see it, don't we? This is interesting. I'm curious to see these comments down here. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. But just for a little bit, let's see this one more time. So we see. And there was somebody trying to downplay this too, saying that Uncharted 4 looks better. I'm like, it just depends on what you're playing it on. Yashi says, Naughty Dog really dropped this in 2016 and told the industry, catch up whenever you're ready. Let's compare 200 FPS on PC versus 30 to 60 frames per second on console. Interesting stuff here. We're already seeing that going on. But no, they're right. Naughty Dog engines are absolutely insane. I mean, and they managed to get that 60. I don't know, to this day, you know, it's like, man. Shows how far ahead of its time Uncharted 4 was. Genuine questions. Why did games stop progressing graphics-wise? Oh, there's some games that definitely take things to another level for sure. But Naughty Dog definitely sets the bar when it comes to that. And that's what I'm saying with that type of technology. So it gives you an idea about art, optimization, and the way that you design your game. Black Flag, for sure, looks absolutely amazing. Resynced, I can't wait to get to that. The James Bond game looks like a PS3 game. Definitely not good. No, if you play it on higher settings, like on a PS5 Pro, it looks absolutely incredible. Don't get too caught up in that. The point here is that there are some comparisons here. Uncharted 4 still holds up because Naughty Dog built every scene like a painting. Everything is just so rich. The textures, colors, the draw distance, etc. IO Interactive had a full decade, and Naughty Dog PS4 water physics still look better. Well, I would want to see the game at 4K. So, but yeah, I mean, that gives you an idea, guys. Okay, so we have a thread down here with Nicola. We're going to get to that in a second. That's kind of interesting. Here we go again. 007 First Light really might be the Uncharted 5 we never got. Again, more Uncharted stuff coming up here where people are saying, like, you know, just saying, guys, if you want that experience, it's right there. Going to Nicola's story. Let's see how this is. This is going to be interesting. Oh, yeah, I like this earlier. 007 First Light sales split gonna be like PlayStation 5, 60%, PC 20%, Xbox 15%, Switch 5%. You wanna know why he's saying PS5 60%? Because he's thinking of the Uncharted influence. Plus, Sony historically third-party sells the most. This guy says PC will be higher than 20%, to be honest. It's possible. Hitman has a big player base on PCs, so that will help. True. Nicola says the game seems to be more Uncharted coded. PC may account for 25 or 30%, not discounting that. Smart reply. Yeah, I know what he means. Not Uncharted coded at all. Well, look, we just saw all the comparisons, didn't we? If anything, Uncharted mixed its Indiana Tomb Raider elements and added Bond-like set pieces. Okay, one thing this guy's not understanding is that Tomb Raider elements were using Uncharted-like coding, and I just explained that with the trilogy. Now, the older Tomb Raider is nothing like that. It's totally different. We know Tomb Raider came before Uncharted, so did Indiana Jones. But when they made, this is funny, when they made the last Indiana Jones, it actually was kind of organic to its nature a bit, but it had a bit of Uncharted aspects to it. We're talking about video game development coding here. So IO Interactive drew from their Hitman games from this. I guess he didn't want to include Uncharted in that. Have you not seen the comparison videos to driving the boat, to falling from a plane? Now ask yourself, where did you see those set pieces before? Dude, that's not the point. The point is it does have a lot of Uncharted influences. Why do you think you're seeing video game reviewers say that and a lot of other people? He says, I never said Uncharted couldn't take inspiration from the Bond movies of the 60s. The game is clearly coded after both Hitman and Uncharted. You said it has no Uncharted code in it at all, which is demonstratively nonsense. Yeah. Seriously. Germany say the same thing. 007 might be the Uncharted 5 we never got. BGC compares 007's first light set pieces to Uncharted 2 and 4. After beating 007, I can confidently confirm that this game is a near masterpiece. So we have a lot of people saying a lot of positive things down here. Faces, Uncharted, 007, 007, Russia with love. Now, 007 still hasn't topped Uncharted. Here goes a thread right here where people are probably talking about it. 007 First Light is a banger to reviewers, but we all know that this is true. We all know that the true reviews are the ones from actual gamers. Nah, 007 still hasn't topped Uncharted. They're different sagas, bro. You see what I mean? It's like, there goes Uncharted influences again. We're seeing this here, which is actually interesting. But this is a game that I definitely have my eyes on. I want to get to it, of course. So, more Uncharted overall, but there are levels where it's clearly leaning into the Hitman DNA. Yeah, it's a combination. There are a bunch of open level sections that let you find different unique opportunities to complete your primary objective, encouraging some replayability and agency. Honestly, I can't wait to play. Uncharted was my favorite franchise, but Naughty Dog and PlayStation not releasing anything new in the series since 2016 is disappointing. Sounds like 007 First Light can scratch that itch. As we see, a lot of people still want those type of games. It's pretty funny. Look at this guy, 007 First Light review. The most Uncharted-like game that isn't Uncharted. TLDR, it is, in my opinion, one of the best games this year after Resident Evil Requiem and Forza Horizon 6. Pokemon Pokepia's up there too, but it has to be your cup of tea. Great gameplay, amazing action sequences, great environments, good cutscenes, and storytelling. No woke Bond, he's a womanizer as a James Bond should be, has various romances in the game too. Great environments, missions to take place in many areas, desert in Africa, Antarctica City, and more. Best one in terms of beauty is Vietnam region, like super exotic Bali or Thailand island. Best stealth spy detective features of any game ever, and a very charismatic and fun protagonist. Awesome pacing, great character interactions, and characters are very well portrayed. Simple car sequences involve no more driving. As we know, Bond has to have his car sequences. Only downside for me, low replayability, and some missions could have been shorter. Chapter 7 Nightfall and boss fights could have been better. I'm surprised a non-Naughty Dog company was able to make a game like this. It's the closest thing to Uncharted you will play. Review 007 First Light. Uncharted meets Hitman. 007 First Light is the newest game by Hitman developers IO Interactive. Going into this, I didn't have any idea what to really expect, whether it would end up way more linear like Uncharted or simply be another Hitman with a new coat of paint. What I did not expect is for this game to somehow be both at the same time, and for that to work perfectly as it integrates open level design, allowing for a different approach with a cinematic feel that puts it up there with some of the best action games. The gameplay feels is very similar to Hitman, except you don't have to sit there like a stealth guy and you get caught and it's all over. No, you can get in combat and get pretty insane. I've seen some of the hand-to-hand combat guys, it's pretty good. Hitman World of Assassination. Things like the camera, the movement, climbing all feel very similar, but the game pushes the envelope massively with this combat. The melee combat in Pacific is absolutely sublime. It is a new take on the free flow combat popularized by the Batman Arkham series. That's what I was telling you, it's pretty good. But with a unique twist where it feels like every single wall, decoration, or item in the room is destructible. You could move dudes around, smash them into windows. It's pretty intense. I've seen it. You will constantly be throwing enemies into desks, walls, paintings. It's absolutely thrilling to play and feels amazing. Often I let myself get detected purely so I can wreck an entire room fighting a group of enemies. It's that fun. Gunplay is also by far IO's best ever. So guys, we kind of get it right here. Final verdict, 007. First Light feels like the game IO has wanted to make for their entire existence. Everything they've learned with the Hitman franchise is applied here while carving out its own new identity. I think this is just the beginning of what is hopefully an amazing series of James Bond games. If you love games like Uncharted or Hitman, then you're guaranteed to love this as much as I did. I see this game being held up as one of the peak stealth games of this era, like Metal Gear Solid 5. Oh man, that says a lot. So there we go again. As he said, Uncharted. Here we go again, Danny. 007 First Light is incredible. It took me 18 hours to complete the campaign. This game has an amazing cast, the story is excellent, and I love the gameplay mechanics. It's a mix of an Uncharted and Hitman. The game is almost perfect. Here we go again. 007 First Light is the closest thing we'll get to a proper Uncharted game, with bits of Metal Gear like espionage action. 007 game you didn't play was basically PS2's Uncharted. So there we go, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Are you excited to play this game now that you know that you're going to get that Uncharted quality, some amazing Batman combat, and that Hitman quality that you loved? I was looking forward to this game actually being really good and hope that they could knock it out the park. Looking at their games historically, recently, they always score very well in Metacritics. So it doesn't surprise me that they did this and they took an IP and brought it back into the limelight. This game is definitely going to sell a couple million. I know this just because it automatically has that going for it. And these guys deserve that, and you support good developers. So let me know what you guys think. As usual, leave a comment down below. Become a member if you want. James Bond is back. He's shaken, but he's not stirred. Later, y'all.